everybody, how's it? Aloha. A late morning here for you. For me. No, by the time this is posted, it's going to be afternoon your time. Hey, so just by looking at the name of this band, of which I've never had on the channel, I think I'm in for a hell of a listen. Fleshgod Apocalypse. And the name of the... I'm not laughing at it. It's just such an intense name, you know. It's like Septic Flesh and some of these other bands that I've listened to. I was going, wow, they're the heaviest names ever. The name of the track I'm doing is The Violation. And so I look forward to that. Guys, I want to thank you so much for like indulging me on certain things I post on this channel. Like that drone stuff that I did on the other side of the island and stuff. You know, this is my channel and there's not many passions that don't still tie into metal. You know, you wonder how does droning tie into metal? Well, the droning and stuff for me is kind of the break that I take that puts me in a zen space so I get back into my metal. So that and surfing and stuff I'll be popping up in the future. You know, it's just it's me. It's me, it's the channel, it's what I do. But most importantly, what I do is put these on and listen to your suggested tracks. Ooh, smooth segue. Mama say, mama sa me makusa. Woo. I'm sorry. Okay, so thank you guys for your support. Cups of coffee, you know where the links are. Headsets, check it out. Everything's down below. Patreon. Got a slow burn coming up. Let's do this. This is The Violation by the band Fleshgod Apocalypse. All right. Oh my God. Wow. This is absolutely nuts. And here's the first thing now that I have to hit on that's so unique about this is that their decision that in unison, which for those who don't know means like in the same time, like let's say if I hit this note, the guitar player hits the same note, the bass player might do it in an octave lower, and the drummer might hit it, you know, whether it's a kick, a snare, or cymbal. So everything happens at one time. There's a very unique thing that's happening in there that anybody who's an orchestrator or has done any kind of tracks like this is that the difficulty in the lines that are going on, you know, with the, you know, spiccato or you know, that's happening with the strings, be it live or not, it doesn't matter. Strings do not have a percussive element to them. I mean, if you do pizzicato, fine. But there's always going to be this nanofart lag. And I'm sure if they ever hear this, they're going to go, oh yeah, we had to really work on that. Because the chugging of the guitars, especially the drums, because the drums is so machine gun, and it is a rhythmic element. So there's a hit, there's an impact. There is no impact in what's going on. So do you hear that there's just the slightest of lag in what's going on with the strings? Something else that I really super dig is that section. There's a section where the strings and the growling power and stuff open up. I don't know if that's the hook or if that's a pre to something else that might be coming in. But they repeated that pattern twice. Then you hear the strings kind of open up just a little bit. So you can see where my brain is frying right now, and that whole marriage and how they've, a lot of times I've heard bands that'll do this, and they might, a little bit at the intro, they might hit you really hard with an orchestral aspect of it at the intro, maybe come back in a little bit, beef it up again in a hook. These guys are just keeping this thing, full fire all the way through. And my hat's off to them for doing that, because that is probably one of the most difficult things to pull off in a mix. You probably want to nudge tracks as tight as you can, but at a certain point you just go, well, these are the elements. And even if it's not a live string section, even if it's digital, or if it's a sampled string that gets maneuvered into it and stuff like that, it's extremely hard, because that movement of strings is not percussive. It can be. No, I mean, I'm sure orchestrators or conductors are going, what are you talking about, dude? There's different ways to... No, I'm talking about in the way that it's being performed here. So anyhow, and I love that. What's up with that voice at the end? That was so cool. That was such a breakaway, and that was so different. It caught me off guard. All right, here we go. Look, when I listen to music of all different types, when I get into this heavier, dark stuff, art form, forgive me, it's always a new experience for me, because bands that are of this nature have so many different unique ways of doing what they're doing, and they take such super fun risks. I loved, when you saw me smile at the end, I love that line. They kind of moved away a little bit and kind of came into kind of this like end of a phrase kind of vibe. They're telling you that, the end is coming and stuff. The line stepped out of the pocket, went up. The musicianship, you saw me with the drums, I was just like, and the guitar solo section, that kind of gave me an 80s neoclassical, probably that's neoclassical vibe. And but I loved it because everything was going so smoking fast already that actually the solo in something like that can be very difficult, because if you're sitting on top of something that's already going that, and let's say you do that, which they're already kind of achieving with the riff, they're already, the stamina is just absolutely amazing that the musicians have of this nature when they're playing this style of music. But what I loved about the solo, it's kind of like the solo that Steve Vai did in this Polyphia video. You know, the more expressive, the more, you know, soul-pulling lines that were coming out there instead of trying to keep up with the everything else that was set up in the background. That kind of laid out this really super powerful track for, in this case, the solo to also be wow. I mean, there were still some runs and stuff in there, but there was some melodic aspect to it that at a certain point, even through this, I was looking for more melodic kind of stuff. So that's why when that guy's high voice came in, I was like, yeah, there we go. And then the solo came in. And no offense to the texture of the track in of itself being an extremely powerful metal track. Anyhow, geez, I'm slightly a little, well, it's the hot coffee and it's pretty hot outside. I don't have the air conditioning on. But at the same token, when I hear music like this, I mean, I guess that's why also you're a fan of bands like Fleshgod Apocalypse, because it makes you go, you know, you get on edge. It pumps you up, you know. So anyhow, thank you so much for hanging in there. If you have any more Fleshgod Apocalypse you'd like for me to hear, please drop that in the comments. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it. You guys take care. Have a killer day. See ya.